Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. Now, this is definitely a video that I want to do because I believe that you are out there talking about this specific topic in the boxing world. But before I jump into this video, I want to extend a welcome to the channel, but also I want to extend a welcome to our live stream that we do every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk boxing. We have live panels and we have call-ins where you can call in and give your opinion about the sport. So make sure you check us out. We're doing one today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. Now, Shakur Stevenson was at the fight last night, Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach, and he definitely made some interesting statements after the fight. The first of which was Lamont Roach won that fight. Now, that's not an unpopular opinion. There are many fight fans and fighters that believe that Lamont Roach won that fight last night. Personally, I had the fight 115-113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Some controversy in regards to a knockdown that, in my opinion, absolutely should have been counted as a knockdown. But does that mean that Lamont Roach ends up winning the fight? Who knows? We have what we call a butterfly effect. And that means that when one thing happens, that means every outcome and situation changes thereafter based off of that particular situation. So who knows what Tank would have done after that. But if you have Lamont Roach winning, I totally understand. Now, the other comment that was made by Shakur Stevenson that I also found interesting was that he said that he has even more confidence now that he beats Gervonta Davis after seeing this particular fight. He should have had a lot of confidence to begin with. So why, I don't know exactly why the fight gave him more confidence. That tells me that he lacked a little bit of confidence, but I'm glad that he had confidence and he has more confidence now in beating Gervonta Davis, because that means that the fight can happen. Maybe Shakur now is licking his chops, because I don't think he was necessarily licking his chops prior. Now, that performance, in my opinion, was not a good performance by Gervonta Davis. However, we predicted that the fight would be close. Fight fans are going to use triangle theories to suggest that now Shakur is going to wash Tank, right? Because Shakur washed Herring, Herring beat Lamont Roach, even though all these things happened years ago in terms of Shakur's win and Lamont Roach lost to Herring. They're going to use that triangle theory. Well, we know in boxing, triangle theories, they absolutely don't work. Styles make fights. And that's the reason why, as I looked at Lamont Roach's style, I knew it was going to be a challenging fight for Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis knew it was going to be a challenging fight for him. As he mentioned that Roach was going to be a challenge in the interview that he did, challenge or easy work. He knew that Lamont Roach was not going to be easy work. Now, Shakur Stevenson, and I got to be consistent in why I approach this, because I talked a little bit about Terrence Crawford and a new data point as it relates to Israel Madrimov last weekend when he lost to Virgil Ortiz. Well, this is also a new data point. Now, as much as I do not believe in triangle theories, what I do believe in is taking information that is pertinent, like styles, like some of the things that Lamont Roach was able to do last night, what we felt gave Tank a little bit of trouble, and can Shakur Stevenson implement some of that into his game? That's new information. And so I think it's perfectly fair to now critique or reassess how that fight might play out. And if we have people that are on social media saying that, no issue. Now, I've always been of the mindset, and let me say this right now, I've always been of the mindset that Shakur Stevenson is a difficult fight for Gervonta Davis, because he's rangier, he's taller, and he fights out of a defensive posture always, always. So the question is, how does Tank get in there and land his shots? Now, the offset to that has always been Shakur ain't got no pop. He has no punching power. And that's the difference that I felt Roach had last night. I think Roach had more power to keep Tank honest. Roach did eat a couple of big shots from Gervonta Davis, and it's still questionable whether Shakur Stevenson can eat those shots. We don't know. We don't know if Shakur can take a punch, because he doesn't take a risk to open himself up to get hit with a punch. So that has always been his MO. Um, but if you believe that Shakur Stevenson now just smokes Gervonta Davis because of this performance and you're using that triangle theory, that tells me that you're either a casual fan or and there's nothing wrong with being a casual fan, because I hear people call us casuals and I have no issue with that whatsoever. But you're either a casual fan, you knew absolutely nothing about Lamont Roach, or you are a Gervonta Davis detractor and you were always looking for something to use as it relates to Tank. Lamont Roach was criticized, said was too small, wasn't a skilled fighter. And if you actually watched Lamont Roach's fights, which of course I did after the fight was announced, I knew that Lamont was a good fighter, that this was going to be a difficult fight, that stylistically he would match up somewhat well against Gervonta Davis. So you guys making those statements is either you don't know the sport or you're creating a situation where it's a win-win for you and the fighter that you support. So if you denigrate the fighter right from the beginning, say the fighter is not good, that he's trash, that da 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 da, then if Gervonta Davis smokes him, he beat a quote unquote bump or another bump. If the fight is close or he loses, then you say, well, Tank was never that good to begin with. That was the MO. So no matter what happened coming out of this fight, Tank wasn't going to win. What Tank needs to do and what Shakur needs to do moving forward, that should be their next fight. It should be Tank's next fight. It should be Shakur's next fight. And there's reasons why I believe that to be the case. Number one, Shakur is in a position now where he thinks Gervonta Davis is more vulnerable than ever. He even said it after the fight, like I mentioned earlier. He has more confidence. Well, if you're Gervonta Davis and you originally reached out to Shakur Stevenson to make a fight, and Shakur declined and decided that he was going to go to a multi-fight deal. By the way, I'm not faulting anybody in that situation. That is what happened. Then this is an opportunity to go ahead and make that fight happen. Shakur, in my opinion, does not offer the same threat as Lamont Roach in terms of punching power, but he does offer footwork, speed. He's a sharp fighter, and defensively, he's going to be challenging. So go ahead and make that fight now because it's not risky from a damage perspective. Go ahead and make that fight, and Shakur's going to come into that fight, in my opinion, overestimating how he'll perform against Gervonta Davis because of how Lamont performed. I truly do believe that. Triangle theories do not work. But both of these gentlemen, they need to go ahead and make this fight next. This is what fight fans are calling for. It makes absolutely no sense to hold off on this fight. I personally don't have to see the Lamont Roach fight again. Not to say that Roach wouldn't still be competitive, but I think you see probably a different Tank in that fight, a sharper one. So I would just rather see him go on and fight Shakur Stevenson, man. That's really what I want to see. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media, and I am out.